Huzzah! And welcome to Beefy Time. I'm Beefy by name and nature, and welcome to This Week in Comics. First up is Marvel Legacy number 1. Now this is kind of Marvel's version of Rebirth. It's their rebirth, like DC did last year, where it's a soft reboot. That's the term that people like to use. It's not an actual complete canonical wipe like, the New 52 was essentially a canonical wipe. It's not like that. It's going to be like a reintroduction of characters. Like, we know that they are going to bring someone back. So apparently we're going to dread another person being brought back, which implies that it's a villain, but who knows. It's also rumoured that the Fantastic Four are going to be back for this, which would be awesome, to be honest. Like, I really enjoyed Matt Fraction's run of Fantastic Four, and if someone else could take the reins for that and make it something great again, that'd be awesome. But that's the event. As far as this comic goes, all we know is that it's the 1 million BC Avengers, which I think the only one that caught my eye was a Ghost Rider who is riding a mammoth, and that just sounds metal as hell. But the reason I'd say pick this up is because it's my main man, Jason Aaron, who is writing this, and he hasn't done me wrong yet. And of course it's a Marvel event, so even if it's rubbish, it's still going to be entertaining. Next up is Redneck number 6. Now Redneck is, in short, it's basically a story about redneck vampires. Not in the way that American Vampire was, more kind of like nitty gritty, sort of like deep south modern vampires. But this book totally took me by surprise. Like, I had no interest in it to start with, and I had no intention of continuing reading after I just decided to pick up the first issue on a whim, and it's completely hooked me. I'd say that between this and American Vampire, the whole sparkly vampire thing has just been completely thrown out the window, and that this is what we want. This is what we want vampires to be represented as, not that fucking shite. If you're a fan of vampire stories, then I'd say genuinely pick this up. You're not going to want to miss this. And finally, we have The Flash 31. Now, this comic has been, it's just been fantastic throughout the entire run. You could probably watch my You Should Be Reading, and it will explain the whole story so far. But now we have Flash, who is powered by the negative Speed Force, and it's made for some quite interesting storytelling. This current arc also introduces the villain Bloodwork, and he is a completely new concept. He can control people's blood, which is a little bit sinister. Like, we've had, people who control things about other people before, but blood is one of those things, like, my god, kind of reminds me of Misfits, if you ever watched that. Ramsay Bolton, the guy who plays him, there was like an alternate universe version of him who could control milk, and he was mocked for it, but he could actually just control the calcium particles in a person's body. It was a little bit it's kind of like how people always underestimate Iceman, because Iceman isn't just a dude who shoots ice and does the whole Frozone thing. Like, he can control the humidity around people and inside them, and he can just like take all the water particles inside them and freeze them. I'm getting a bit off track, but my point is, pick up The Flash. And that's it. Let me know what you'll be picking up in the comments, and if you like this video, give it a cheeky like or a dislike if you didn't, and subscribe if you want to see more. But until next time, stay handsome.